Yo, what's going on? It's Liam. So today I'm talking about the every entrepreneur's kind of push-pull between trying to be happy and trying to maximize potential for success. So the beginning of my journey, it all started in the gym, and I think a lot of entrepreneurs start in the gym. That's where you build up your discipline. That's where it all originates. And after probably a year and a half in the gym, my feed started getting filled with rich dudes talking about making money online. And ever since then, I've been obsessed with the idea of that. Now, when I first began the journey, it was all fucking grind mode. 100%. Anything else I was doing was bullshit. I would tell myself, I am going to suffer until I get rich. I told myself that every day. I was like, this is what I deserve. I'm not doing enough. Nothing's ever enough. I need to fucking suffer. And that's how I went about my life for probably a year or so. Junior and maybe even senior year of high school too. I would tell myself that all the time. It's like, I'm never doing enough, and I need to suffer until I get what I want. And then I started reading books. All right, because again, I wanted to add that to my discipline repertoire. So I started reading books, and that led me into philosophy. And particularly the book that changed it all for me. And I always had this propulsion to go on one end of the extreme. So I'm either all success oriented, or sometimes I get too philosophic. I'm constantly oscillating between the two. But the book, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, his philosophy it's kind of a Buddhist-centric philosophy, but it's that happiness is the absence of desire. And so he says, happiness comes from being content. Success comes from being unsatisfied. Choose. And that statement right there, I've just been tossing around in my mind for almost a year since I read the damn book. And I open that book all the time, and I read a bunch of stuff like that. And so I've got that in the back of my mind, and then I've also got the propulsion to pursue success at the maximum potential. And so I feel like balancing things is hard. In general, balance is a difficult thing to achieve. And for some people, they find it easier to go on one end of the extreme, which I think is real. The perfect paragon is it's easier to be dead poor or super rich. Anything in between comes with the bad of both sides. So when you're dead broke, you have all the freedom and all the time in the world. And that's one of the greatest things about having money. When you have a bunch of money, you've got the freedom. That's great. I mean, I think ideally everyone would want to have all the money. When you're in the middle, you don't have any time. You have some money, but you don't have time, and you don't have freedom. The middle is not where I want to be. I want to be at the top. I don't see myself at the bottom, but I think I would choose that over being in the middle of the struggle. And that's the perfect example of how balance is really the most difficult. Some people say, another way to say it is 10x is easier than 2x. So it's easier to be the greatest of the greatest because nobody does that. There's way less competition at the top. You know? I mean, it's as simple as that. And I feel like if you see what's possible for yourself and you visualize it often, it's so easy to get trapped in allowing yourself to be unhappy until you get it. And part of me still contemplates whether happiness slows me down or if it facilitates the journey. I still don't know. I know I'm going to get there either way. I want to get there as fast as possible. So a part of me is kind of like, screw it. Let's get rid of all of the pain of being in the middle, because I'm kind of in the middle, you know. I haven't made it yet. A part of me is just like, screw it. Let's go all in, forget happiness for a few years, and find that success. But the issue is that it assumes if I get X, then I'll be happy. And that's kind of the fatal misconception. Everyone who gets money realizes it's not the end-all be-all. And so another part of me is saying, well, I know how to be happy because I've practiced it. I've read a lot about it. I get it. I think it'd be ideal if I could just be happy along the way, which you can be happy along the way. Happiness comes from being good at something. But I get pulled in so many directions with my current routine. It's like I honestly feel happiest when work and sales are going well. That's just the truth, dude. Either way, if I don't have that done, then it's lingering in the back of my mind. And it doesn't allow me to enjoy everything else. Unless I'm in a state of ignoring everything. Because I can do that. I can ignore the reality. But I feel like that fosters some negative feelings deep down. So I haven't made it yet. When I got $1 million, I will let you know what happens. But I wanted to speak out loud or think out loud, and hopefully someone can relate to this out there, where you ponder whether happiness matters or if you can have happiness along the way. So I think it's a great question to ask. I think it's a great thing to ponder. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. And if you really like me, freaking subscribe. Peace.